You didn't land here by luck. You were led here. Something bigger than you, something deep and divine, has been guiding your steps straight to this moment. That tug you've been feeling, that sense that there's more to your life than what you've seen so far, it's real. And now, it's time to stop questioning it and start owning it. You are not average. You are not random. You are royal by design. There is something sacred encoded into your very being, and it's been waiting for the right time to rise. That time is now. This is more than a message. This is a call to remember who you really are, to reclaim what's always been yours, and to rise into the fullness of your power. The world needs what you carry, and you weren't chosen to fit in. You were chosen to shift the atmosphere, so lean in. Get ready, because by the time this journey is over, you won't just know your purpose, you'll feel it in your bones, and nothing will ever be the same. Let's begin. This is just the beginning. Hit subscribe now and step into your calling. Your breakthrough starts here. There are certain truths that don't knock, they awaken. And this is one of them. You were never crafted to live an average life. The spark within you was never meant to blend in, and what flows through you is not borrowed. It is encoded. You are part of a sacred inheritance, a spiritual current passed through time, shaped by divine intelligence and protected by purpose. This isn't about ego. It's about recognition. You've been chosen, not for comfort, but for impact. What lives within you is not a distant myth or poetic metaphor. It is legacy in motion, a timeless reservoir of discernment, strength, and clarity that has guided extraordinary leaders across unseen generations. You're not just here to exist quietly. You carry a blueprint that mirrors the architects of wisdom and power. Your steps are not random. They are traced by something far older than your fears and far wiser than your doubts. If you feel the abundance of divine love filling your heart, now is the perfect time to share it. By clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $100 or more, you can help spread God's blessings far and wide. Your offering will not only touch your own life, but also reach countless souls through this platform. Each of you holds a sacred place in God's magnificent plan, and your generosity will be the answer to many prayers. Take action now. Share your blessings to honor His kingdom, for you were created to accomplish even greater works through His loving hands. May God's grace be with you. The essence that defines your path doesn't come from worldly acclaim or personal ambition. It originates from alignment with a source far beyond status. This lineage is not biological, it's spiritual. It's not about names written in old books. It's about an anointing that never stopped moving. You carry the remnants of builders, healers, judges of truth, voices of justice, those whose purpose carved pathways through time so you could one day stand on them. What you're beginning to remember isn't new, it's ancient, and now it's your turn to embody it. The internal tug, the sense that there's more to you than what's been seen or named. That's not fantasy, that's instruction. You were always meant to lead, to influence, to realign the atmosphere around you, not by domination, but by presence, by frequency, by walking as the embodiment of clarity, compassion, and divine responsibility. The season you're entering demands more than confidence. It requires remembrance. This is not about gaining a crown. It's about recognizing the one you've been wearing all along. The peace you're seeking isn't something to chase, it's something to activate. The insight you're longing for isn't outside you. It's waiting to be retrieved from the quiet places within. You are not just stepping into purpose, you're stepping into inheritance. And with that inheritance comes responsibility to choose alignment over ease, truth over convenience, and vision over noise. Every doubt you've battled, every hardship you've endured was a gatekeeper, and you made it through. That alone qualifies you to rise. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Your presence is no accident. Your timing is not random. The guidance being stirred in you right now is proof that the mantle has already begun to settle. You're not here to repeat history. You're here to continue a mission. You were never forgotten. You were being refined. And now, finally, the mirror is clear. Stand in what's always been yours. You're not starting from scratch. You're continuing something sacred. Some inherit treasures not of gold or stone, but of insight that transcends time. What lives in you is not random intelligence or surface-level cleverness. It is a legacy of perception woven into the very root of your being. And you are designed to see what others miss, to grasp what lies beneath the obvious, and to feel the pulse of truth where others only skim the surface. This is not just a gift, it's a responsibility. This inner intelligence, passed down through sacred lineage, goes far beyond memorized facts or acquired knowledge. It's a depth that reveals patterns hidden in plain sight. It's the kind of discernment that filters noise from truth without needing evidence. It's not learned in books or classrooms. It awakens in silence, in stillness, and in the moments between certainty and faith. And it is already yours. You are not waiting for wisdom to find you. It has always been with you. Like a buried compass, it simply needed stillness to be noticed. You may not have called it by name, but you felt its pull in your hardest choices and most defining moments. The ability to perceive what's real beyond what is shown, to pause when others rush, to question what others accept, that is the ancient clarity stirring within. This inheritance isn't ornamental, it's practical. It speaks in decision-making, in the way you move through relationships, in the quiet instinct that stops you from entering the wrong room. It will not shout to get your attention. It waits for your recognition. Once honored, it becomes your most trusted ally, guiding you not only through personal storms, but into purpose that ripples outward. It's not about predicting the future. It's about aligning with it. This clarity allows you to walk into situations and know exactly what is needed. It shows you which doors are invitations and which are distractions. It illuminates the motivations behind masks, giving you an advantage not based on control, but on knowing. That is the kind of depth you carry. This is not a gift to hoard. It is meant to be poured into others through counsel, compassion, example, and action. Just as those who came before you used this wisdom to anchor peace and order, you now carry the same charge. Whether you lead quietly through your presence or boldly with your voice, your clarity is meant to restore balance and inspire integrity. What you've faced so far has only refined this gift. Every mistake taught you nuance. Every setback sharpened your discernment. That's how this legacy grows, not by avoiding difficulty, but by moving through it with awareness. You've already been using this wisdom, even if you didn't have a name for it. Now, it's time to own it. You are not becoming wise. You are remembering that you already are. The understanding that once guided kings is now seated within you, waiting to be claimed. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You only need to trust what has been placed within. Your path may not always be simple, but your insight will make it clear. Walk with the awareness that you were born to be a guide, not because you know everything, but because you are aligned with what truly matters. Let your choices be rooted in inner truth. Let your actions reflect the knowing that cannot be shaken. This is your birthright. This is your rhythm. Step fully into it, and never doubt the depth you carry. Some people spend their lives searching for validation, chasing achievements, and pushing doors open with their bare hands. But not you. What's working in your favor isn't earned by effort alone. It's woven into your design. You are cloaked in something unseen, yet undeniable. It's not luck. It's not coincidence. It's alignment. It's divine orchestration moving on your behalf, even when you can't see it clearly yet. There is a force that has been resting quietly upon your life, making way for you long before you realized it. It's what has carried you through closed gates and placed you before opportunities you never applied for. It's why certain things worked out for you that others couldn't force open. This isn't about status or recognition. It's about spiritual position. You were built to thrive under divine alignment, not hustle. The ease that is beginning to flow through your path isn't accidental. It's the visible echo of unseen favor. You are walking in the current of something older than your efforts, something far deeper than your intentions. Favor is not always flashy. Sometimes it shows up in the right person at the right time. Sometimes it's a no that protected you, or a silence that built your strength. But make no mistake, it's active. What's ahead for you will not be defined by conventional measurements of success. The traction you're gaining now is not a result of climbing. It's a result of being positioned. This favor is not shallow, it's strategic. It opens access to spaces that require presence more than performance. It shifts conversations before you enter rooms. It prepares people to receive you before you ever speak. There's no need to convince anyone of your worth. Favor reveals what you no longer have to explain. Those who once overlooked you will suddenly take notice, not because you've changed, but because the time has come. When alignment meets timing, visibility follows. You're not just being seen, you're being sent. You're being called to create, to influence, to build. Not from scarcity, but from overflow. And everything you need to complete your assignment will find its way to you. Not because you chased it, but because it was marked to reach you. Resources, wisdom, allies, they are being drawn to your energy. You are a lighthouse, not a seeker. This grace won't always look like grand gestures. Sometimes it's peace that holds firm when chaos circles. Sometimes it's the right insight at the perfect moment. Sometimes it's simply walking through fire and emerging untouched, refined, but unbroken. Favor shapes your steps not by force, but by fluidity. It's not something to control, it's something to trust. You are now stepping into a rhythm where things begin to align with less resistance. Your name will be spoken in rooms you haven't entered. Your vision will be supported in ways you didn't predict. But this isn't about being elevated for your own sake. It's about fulfilling a calling that impacts far more than you. Walk with boldness. The ground beneath your feet has already been prepared. The divine is not just behind you, it goes ahead of you, clearing the way. You are not simply participating in destiny, you are carrying it. And that kind of purpose never moves alone. Favor walks with it, always has, always will. Some souls are born with a current of prosperity pulsing through them, not as a reward for effort, but as a signature of their divine design. If you've ever wondered why you feel destined for more, why the idea of overflow feels familiar even before you fully grasp it, it's because abundance was never meant to be a distant dream for you. It's a reality embedded in your spiritual architecture. Dear brothers and sisters, May the peace of God fill your hearts today. I come to remind you of a profound truth. Our lives are firmly established in God's divine purpose, untouched by the fleeting worries of this world. As Scripture tells us, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap." Luke 6:38. Like the mighty oak whose roots are planted deep in rich soil, our foundation is anchored in God's eternal truth. Every move we make, every stand we take, is upheld by His enduring strength. Today, you have the opportunity to participate in this divine blessing. By clicking the Super Thank You button and offering a gift of $50, you will sow into a harvest that will return to you many times over in God's abundant grace. Throughout history, there have been those whose lives radiated not just influence or intellect, but undeniable evidence of divine alignment. Their lives were marked not by empty striving, but by a sacred flow. Resources followed purpose, and wealth became a tool, not a trophy. You carry the same imprint. This isn't about luxury for luxury's sake. It's about being resourced for the mission etched into your essence. What you're stepping into now is not the result of worldly ambition. It's the natural unfolding of who you were always meant to be. True abundance touches every part of life. Health that sustains you, relationships that enrich you, clarity that guides you, and yes, material provision that empowers you. This isn't about earning, it's about awakening. Once your spirit aligns with truth, provision responds. The flow of increase doesn't begin with external effort. It begins with inner harmony. The more you live in agreement with your calling, the more life opens to support that alignment. Your provision is not meant to be fought for. It's meant to follow you. Just as rivers find the path of least resistance, divine provision flows through souls who move in purpose without fear. You are not meant to survive. You are built to expand. What's being released into your life now isn't random favor. It's inherited grace. And this grace carries with it not just resources, but responsibility. What you receive isn't for isolation. It's meant to create impact. The expansion in your life is preparation for the influence you're destined to carry. You will find yourself entrusted with more, not because you chase it, but because your heart has been refined to handle it. What's given to you will be multiplied through you. Your life becomes a vessel of restoration, a conduit of divine generosity that touches others in ways they didn't expect but desperately needed. This is how legacy is built, not through accumulation, but through distribution. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. There is no lack in your design. You were not born to echo scarcity, but to rewrite it. The limitations that once surrounded you are dissolving now, not because of outside intervention, but because your awareness has shifted. You no longer beg for scraps. You recognize the table was always yours. That realization alone changes everything. The blessings that are arriving will not only serve you, they will stretch far beyond you. The increase you experience will fund visions, heal environments, elevate others, and shift entire bloodlines. What comes to you now carries a weight of purpose, and your role is to steward it with clarity, boldness, and faith. This is your permission slip to release guilt around abundance. You are not selfish for receiving. You are not arrogant for thriving. You are simply finally stepping into the rhythm you were always meant to walk in. Let the fullness of what's yours find you, and when it does, move with confidence. The world needs what only you can build. There are those who drift with the current, and there are those who command the waters beneath their feet. You were never meant to be swayed by circumstance or held hostage by chaos. You were designed to lead, not just others, but your own reality. Within you lives a quiet authority, an inner sovereignty that isn't shaken by what surrounds you, but instead shapes what's possible. Leadership isn't just about titles or influence. It begins with dominion over the self. True power reveals itself in how you respond when everything around you calls for reaction. This kind of authority doesn't seek control over others. It cultivates stability in the storm. And that's what makes your presence different. Where others flinch, you discern. Where others panic, you pause and move with precision. This inner rulership isn't reactionary. It's intentional. Every choice you make has the capacity to reroute outcomes, not only for yourself, but for those watching your walk. The divine wisdom running through your being isn't just for monumental moments. It's built for the daily decisions that shape your life from the inside out. You're not waiting for permission to lead. You've already been assigned. What lives in you is a sacred clarity, the kind that can untangle confusion, bring order to chaos, and speak peace into disruption. You don't need to dominate to lead. You simply need to remain aligned. The frequency of your decisions creates stability that others feel, even if they can't name it. Your posture of quiet confidence becomes a compass for those still spinning in uncertainty. Every moment you choose discipline over impulse, vision over comfort, and grace over reaction, you reinforce your foundation. You set a tone. You broadcast a signal. And soon enough, others will come to you, not because you seek to be followed, but because your life itself offers direction. Your wisdom won't need to shout. Its resonance will be enough. Your environment doesn't get to decide your state of being. You do. And when you begin to walk in the truth of that, you stop waiting for circumstances to change and begin commanding your space with intention. The atmosphere adjusts around those who lead with spiritual clarity. You're not here to adapt to chaos. You're here to anchor peace. And the leadership you carry is not of this world. It's not built on charisma, applause, or approval. It is rooted in a higher connection, a sacred alignment that grants you the insight and grace to navigate not only your own path, but to guide others forward without losing yourself. That's what makes your authority unshakable. It's not performative, it's embodied. Now is the time to take ownership of your assignment. Stand grounded. Move with discernment. Let your choices reflect the wisdom that has already been entrusted to you. What you're shaping through your daily leadership is more than a life. It's a legacy of stability, clarity, and grace that will ripple far beyond this moment. You weren't placed here to survive what happens. You were placed here to shift what's possible. You were never placed on this earth to merely pass through it. You were born to leave something behind that outlives your breath. There is a mark only your life can leave, a rhythm only your hands can build, and a voice that echoes far beyond the moment. What you create through intention, faith, and courage becomes the thread future generations will follow. Legacy is not made of monuments. It's shaped through meaning. It's carved into time by the way you love, lead, uplift, and show up. You weren't designed to chase impact. You are the impact. Your influence begins in the unseen moments, the wisdom you pass on, the peace you bring into conflict, the way you stand tall when others fold. This is the foundation of what will remain after your name is spoken in memory. There are people you haven't met yet who will benefit from the decisions you make today. The kindness you show, the values you uphold, and the courage you demonstrate become part of the soil that others will grow from. Your life is a seed, and what you water with integrity, service, and truth will rise into something lasting. Legacy isn't reserved for the elite or the famous. It's written by those who live with divine intention. Whether through mentorship, art, advocacy, or simply being a source of strength in your circle, your legacy is formed one choice at a time. You're not waiting for a perfect moment to begin. It already began the moment you decided to live with purpose. Think of every decision as a blueprint. Each action carries a frequency that shapes your world and everything attached to it. Your faith, your resilience, your ability to rise again and again. These are the pillars of the legacy you're crafting. Not in marble, but in memory. Not in titles, but in transformation. You are being called to create from a higher place, not for applause, but for alignment. The way you handle responsibility, the way you invest in others, the way you embody truth. That's what lasts. It doesn't fade when the spotlight shifts. It remains, echoing through those you've touched, long after you've moved on to the next chapter of existence. Start now, not by building something grand, but by being someone consistent. Legacy lives in the small, in the way you listen, in the values you model, in the compassion you extend. It multiplies through intention, it expands through service, and it's anchored in love that expects nothing in return. You are a builder of bridges between generations. Your life is not just about now, it's about next. You're not simply living in your time, you're shaping time itself through everything you do. You are the proof that purpose leaves footprints. Let your walk be worthy of the weight you carry. Let your legacy speak long after your voice falls silent. Now is the moment to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a donation of $100 or more, you can actively participate in His divine mission and contribute to His greater plan. Every offering you make reflects the boundless generosity of God, and I trust it will return to you abundantly, far exceeding your hopes. Always remember, His protection and blessing accompany your every step and every act of giving. You are a vital part of His sacred design. You are strong and radiant, steadfast like His mighty rock. Experience God's miracles, feel the rewards of your generosity deep within your soul, and shine your light with boldness and faith. May you be richly blessed, and may the light of the Lord continually guide your journey. Some are born to follow paths, but a rare few are born to create them, and you are one of those few. There's a charge inside you, a pulse that refuses to shrink, because your life was never meant to echo someone else's rules. You were designed to govern your atmosphere, to make aligned choices with unwavering clarity, and to shift the energy around you by simply showing up in truth. You don't need a throne to lead. Your authority isn't measured by status, it's woven into your essence. The strength you carry is not loud, but it's undeniable. It's the ability to make decisions that align heaven and earth, to walk into uncertainty and still move like the ground knows who you are. That's not ego. That's embodied purpose. This isn't about self-centered power. This is sacred leadership, defined by presence, not performance. Your role is not to dominate, but to direct, to realign what has drifted, to stabilize what has spiraled. The influence that rises from within you is meant to be used with precision, compassion, and reverence. You weren't given this weight to hoard it. You were trusted with it to elevate everything it touches. The decisions you make now are not trivial. They ripple across timelines. The way you handle conflict, the way you protect peace, the way you speak into silence, All of it carries an authority that reshapes more than just your circumstances. It builds something deeper: trust, alignment, and generational permission to walk in power without apology. But this authority must be claimed. It doesn't activate through passivity. It steps in when you stop playing small, stop waiting for approval, and stop second-guessing the voice within. Your authority becomes visible the moment you act like you know it's real. The moment you stop outsourcing your decisions and start trusting the divine code written into your intuition. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Now is not the time to hesitate. Now is the time to move with intent, to stop letting fear write your story, to take up space, not from arrogance, but from awareness. When you operate from your calling, resistance won't disappear, but it will bow. Obstacles will arise, but so will solutions. The world won't always applaud, but heaven already has. You weren't chosen to blend in. You were chosen to recalibrate the very rooms you enter.